Hey guys, it's me, Angie, and welcome back to my channel. Please forgive my voice and coughing every so often. I am getting over COVID. My husband and I both have COVID. He's currently resting in bed right now, which is why the lights are kind of off and dim. So I apologize for the lighting, but I had some books that I wanted to go over that I have collected separate times. Go over the book that I did read, that I finished reading, and the book that I am currently reading. With that being said, I don't know if that's gonna go through, but our door shakes when people close their doors, apparently. So if you hear our door kind of move, just don't pay any attention to that. I know I did come in here last time with a stack of books that were gonna be my August TBR. Yeah, that changed. Which that's fine. It's okay. That's why it's kind of hard for me to make a stack of books as my TBR because my mood always changes. So will I try to add those books into it? Yeah. So those books and then whatever else I get in the mood for will roll into my September TBRs. That's why I'm doing this video right before September. Excuse me. I guess we'll go ahead and we'll start out with the book that I did read. It was one book. I didn't have time to read more. We had a friend of ours that came to visit from Florida, so she was here for a while, so didn't really do any reading while she was here, but we still had a fun time. And then, towards the end of her trip, we got sick, and yeah, we're just trying to recuperate from all of that. But while she was here, we did go to the half-price bookstore, and we went to a couple of the free little libraries around our area here. As well, we went to the next town over from here, and we went to the library there. So I'll show you everything I got from there. So back to the book that I read. I had it on my Kindle. I don't own it. It was through Kindle Unlimited, so I already turned it back in after I read it, and I have a picture of it on my tablet, and that's Never Lie by Freda McFadden. A lot of people are they're obsessed with the Housemaid trilogy. That actually recently blew up, and a lot of people like it. I plan to read that next. I really enjoyed this book. I highly recommend this for anybody who likes mystery and thrillers. And it's funny because when I was reading it, there was a certain point in time where I was like, okay, I know what's going on. I know what's gonna happen. I have this. When I got to the end of the book, I couldn't be more far from the truth. And I laugh because a lot of people on Facebook are like, oh, I think I figured it out already. Am I right or am I wrong? And boy, are they wrong. You think you got it, but you don't. So she did really good with the twists and the turns of this book. Basically, this book is about a couple that are house hunting, and they decide to go look at this house during a blizzard. Why? I don't know. I guess, people can be special. I don't know. So they go to this house. Of course, they're snowed in. They're trapped. And you find out that this house belonged to a psychologist, that used to live there that she disappeared 3 years prior, and nobody knew what happened to her. So you're basically following along this couple in this house, and the wife comes across these tapes that the psychologist recorded her consultations with her patients. And so you're reliving with the wife and trying to piece together what happened to the psychologist, and you end up finding out way more than what you've bargained for. But it was a good ride. I really enjoyed it. I do plan to read more of her books. I'm actually planning on doing what I'm calling the Frida McFadden Marathon for the month of October, but I'll get more into that as we get into October, or at least closer to October. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy that book. I love that book. If I can own that book, I will. Like, if I see that book somewhere, it's going in my collection. It's that good. But moving on. So, if you see that book, get it, read it, enjoy it, love it, pass that on. Alright, so we'll go ahead and we'll start with the Half Price Bookstore. Now, my friend has never been to a Half Price Bookstore because they don't have any Half Price bookstores in Florida. So it was a definite to take her to the Half Price Bookstore there. When I went there with her, I wasn't really looking. Well, so there's 3 books that I was looking for. Two of them will complete my Divergent series that I've been missing. I only have book 2 and 3. I've been looking for book 1 and the book called 4 for that trilogy. And I was also looking for the book 1 of the Shatter Me series as physicals, because I have the rest of the series as a physicals. I wanted to complete that as a physical. And while I was there, I found 3 books. Yeah. So the first 2, I'll show them together because they were in the same spot. They're part of the same series. One is book 5 and the other is book 8 of the Love Comes Softly series, and that is these 2 right here. I have been trying to collect this whole series for years. And I mean years. Maybe about 3 years ago, I think it was a bit more than 3 years ago, my husband introduced me to the movies, and I just absolutely loved them, and I've been slowly trying to collect the series, and then he had let me know that these were actually the movies were based on the books, and I was like, I gotta have the books. So I currently do own book 1 and 2. I have book 1 here with me. Book 2 is still with the rest of our stuff down in Florida that we haven't gotten up here just yet. And I think I also had book 3, if I'm not mistaken. So finding book 5 and book 8 is just really good. Now, I believe that would be just 3 more books, and then I've completed this whole series. So yeah, and it's funny because I believe book 1 I showed in my last video is per my August TBR. I think I had that listed as one of them. But yeah, so book 5 is Love's Unending Legacy, and book 8 is Love Finds a Home. Now, if you like romances that are, back in the day with these, let me see if there's a picture. Well, these don't have the picture of the wagons that I wanted to show you, but they are clean stories. So yeah, I like those. So we got those. My husband's staring at me. The other book that I got from the half price bookstore, and I was like really shocked that I actually found it after so long. Um, it is the paperback version when the rest of my series is hardcover, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. And that is Divergent. Now, this cover is the movie cover, which doesn't really match the rest of my books either, but it's the book. What are you gonna do? And it was only $3. Come on, guys. Really? $3. So, Divergent. Now, the next set of books were from the free little library in our area. If you don't know what that is, you can look them up on Google, and basically they're these little wooden houses that people build in front of their house. They put books in it, they register it, and you go, and the books are absolutely free. You can take as many as you want. The main goal is if you have a book that you've read that you didn't really care for, you can bring that book there, you put it in, and you can take another book. So it's leave a book, take a book kind of thing, which is really, really cool. And I had always wanted to go to them, but down in Florida, they're not really as popular, at least where I lived. So to be able to go to one up here, or a few of them up here, was kind of pretty fun. And when we were there, I found $3. The first book that I found, and it's in really good condition, is Maximum Ride, School's Out Forever by James Patterson. I mean, look, you can see the shine on the book with the light hitting it. And this is book 2 of the Maximum Rider series. And I've heard a lot about this series, that it's a really, really good series to get into. So, I was glad to get my hands on this, and I can't wait to start it. This is a middle grade series, I believe, or YA, one of those two. But a lot of people have enjoyed it. They said it's worth reading, and yeah, so I can't wait to start this series. This other book that I got, it sounded interesting to me. It is a Christian fiction, and I've been trying to get into more Christian fiction, and this is written by Wanda E. Brunstetter, and the title of the book is Looking for a Miracle, and this is book 2 of Brides of Lancaster County. And I thought what was really funny was when I opened the first page, I won't show it too far, but there's a sticker, well, the person's name and address, I guess, who originally owned this book. And the address is in Florida, so go figure. I came from Florida and I found a book from Florida. But the summary of this book, I liked it a lot. I'll go ahead and read it to you. It says, as a child, Rebecca suffered a freak accident that left her legs paralyzed. Now confined to a wheelchair most of the time, she feels that she will never measure up to the expectations of her Pennsylvania Amish community, that a woman marry and raise a family. She longs to be loved for who she is, but she has come to believe that marriage is not for her, and that she will always be a burden to her family. When Daniel B.G., who has long seemed smitten by Rebecca's cousin, begins to spend time with Rebecca, she believes it is only because he feels sorry for her and is interested in obtaining her new business. After all, what man would choose a woman with a handicap such as hers for a wife? Will Rebecca ever find the miracle she is looking for? And then there's a blurb on the top. It says, Rebecca Stoltzfus, I think I pronounced that correctly, I'm sorry if I didn't, asks God for a miracle. a way to become self-supporting. So, yeah, this one I can't wait to get into. Yeah. So, there's that one. This last book, which is this one, it didn't have a sleeve, which I was a bit disappointed about, so, I mean, if I ever find the sleeve, or I find another copy of the book that has the actual cover sleeve on it, you know, I'll definitely grab it. But this book is called Worth Dying For by Lee Child. Now, this is part of a very, very big series. It is a part of the Reacher series. I don't see the rest where it lists like the rest of the books. But it had some really good reviews on Goodreads. It was almost a 5-star book. So I figured, you know, give it a try. I was trying to see maybe in the back, but no. It's not too big of a book. Let me see the last page here. It's 384 pages, so. And I think this is either book 13 or 16 in the series, but I think you could read them out of order. It wouldn't really hurt if you read them out of order. However, I know the first book was on Kindle Unlimited, so I might just start with the first book and then work my way to this one. But this is the mystery thriller, packed with a bunch of action, basically like a whodunit thriller. So yeah, go ahead and try this out and see how it goes. But worth dying for. Now the last two I don't own, but I did check them out from the library at the next town over, because as I've said before, our library unfortunately caught fire and has been temporarily shut down. There's no updates on if they're working on it or when it'll be reopened yet. I've seen a lot of trucks parked there, so I'm hoping that's a good sign and they're just not using that for extra parking space. But yeah, so the first book that I got from the library, and it was kind of funny, I wasn't really looking for it. I just happened to go to the section and it was like boom right there, and I grabbed it. And that's the reappearance of Rachel Price. I have been wanting to read this book since it first came out recently, and it's not on Kindle Unlimited, unfortunately. So I was surprised to actually see this sitting right there, because this is a fairly new book and it's been popular. I did read the first book of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I'm working on reading book 2 and 3. And I just really love this author, Holly Jackson. I love her writing style. I do plan to actually own this on my Kindle eventually, but I figured I can go ahead and read it ahead of time. If it's as good as everybody says, and I really enjoy it like I've done before with her Good Girl's Guide to Murder book, it will be added to my collection. So I have not started reading it yet because I'm currently reading the other book that I got from the library, and that is If I Run by Terry Blackstock. Oh, by the way, this is a YA mystery thriller. This is a Christian mystery thriller. This is book 1 of 3 of a trilogy, and I have been wanting to read this for like ever. I did check this out from the library we had in town before it caught fire, but I had ran out of time before I had to bring it back to the library and didn't get a chance to actually read it. And so to be able to get it again That's kind of funny. But I'm about halfway, as you can see here, with the book. I'm really enjoying it. I like it a lot. Basically, the story is about a girl named Casey who pretty much she basically finds her friend murdered. And she goes on the run because the police think she did it. When she didn't, she's innocent. So basically, it's her journey on the run trying to prove her innocence. And along the way of her journey, she meets this older lady named Miss Sarah, I think her name, or Miss Mary. One of the two. Who's a older Christian woman. And she shares with Casey that her granddaughter went missing 2 years ago when she was 14. And so these two lives, basically, they collide with each other. And so you're basically watching the friendship grow. And you're learning about what's going on. And without giving too much away, I'll leave it at that. But I will say there is another character in the story that gets hired by the parents of the person that was murdered to find Casey and bring her back so she could be charged for the murder. So you're also going back and forth between them, where they are, towards where Casey is, and it's really cool. I really liked it. There's a lot of faith content in it that I really enjoy, and it's, as you can see, it's a very small book. All three of them are but yeah. I'm almost done with this. Oh, here's a picture of Terry right here. So that's her. And yeah, I highly recommend this book, even though I haven't finished it yet, but I can safely say I highly recommend it to anybody that's interested in, if you want to get into some Christian thrillers, this is a good one to get into. It's clean, but it's also fun. Oh, that's that. And that would be it. As I keep reading more books, I'll make more videos to go over it. But as of right now, whatever I didn't read that was meant for this month of August, we'll roll into for September, and yeah, we'll go from there. And my dog is scratching his ear in the background. I apologize for that. And yeah, so I'll go ahead and end the video there. Talk to you guys later. Bye.